Hello everyone and welcome back to Journey Crochets. This is part 2 of the tutorial for this bralette. We will go over the cups A through double D and the straps extra small through 3X. So let's get started. So let's grab a new strand of yarn and make a slip knot. And then for size A, for an A cup, you can chain out 14, a B is 15, C is 16, D is 17, and double D is 19. Okay, so once you chain that out for your size, we are going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So skip that first chain and single crochet in the second chain from the hook. And then we will put one single crochet in every stitch across until the end of the row. All right, so this is what it looks like once you finish row 1. And for row 2, we will chain 1 and turn our work. And in row 2, we're going to put one single crochet in every stitch across until the end of the row. So just for now, putting one single crochet in every stitch across. Okay, so once you have one single crochet in every stitch across, we're going to kind of put three more single crochets in the last stitch so that we can round this corner. So 1, 2, and 3. So we just put 3 single crochets in that last stitch, and it might be wise to put a stitch marker on that middle stitch out of the 3 so you know where it is when we come back around. So now we are going to line this bottom side with single crochets. So make sure for an A cup you have 13 lined along the bottom, 13 single crochets. A B cup should have 14, a C cup is 15, D is 16, and a double D should have 18 at the bottom. So just be mindful of how many you have so that your cup looks even. So 1, 2, 15, and 16. So just make sure you have the right amount of single crochets for your size. And from there, we're going to start on row 3. So chain 1 and turn. For row 3, we're going to put one single crochet in every stitch across until we reach that middle stitch. And once you reach your middle stitch here, we're going to again put 3 single crochets in that middle stitch. So 1, 2, and 3. And you'll want to mark that middle stitch again. And then we'll finish the row by putting one single crochet in every stitch across until we get to the end of the row. So this is what it looks like now. And from there, we're going to just be repeating row 3. So you chain 1 and turn, and then we'll be putting one single crochet in every stitch across until you reach that middle stitch. In the middle stitch, you'll put 3 single crochets, and then you'll finish the row by putting one single crochet in every stitch across until the end. For size A cup, you're going to continue to repeat row 3 until you finish 14. A B cup will finish row 16, a C cup will finish 17, a D cup is 18, and a double D will finish 20 rows. Okay, so once you are finished with your cup, we will just chain 1 and fasten off. So that is what your cup should look like. And then you're going to make a second cup the exact same way. The way the cups will face each other, You want to make sure that your last row is facing you on both cups. So they are going to, so at first your cups just look like this. We're going to just turn them so that the two middle stitches face each other on the same side, so that way your cup looks correct at the seam here. So for now we're going to grab our bodice and we're going to find the middle stitch. So in your row 1, everybody should have had an odd number of stitches in their row, so you should be able to find the middle stitch pretty easily. And then you're going to take one of your bra cups, start with this middle stitch, count how many stitches are to the end of the row, and that's how many stitches you're going to count from the middle. So this middle will match with that middle stitch, and you'll match the stitches one for one. Same over here. This middle stitch will also be in that middle stitch. They'll both be in there, and then you'll count out that way how many stitches you have on that side. So once you have that all configured, we're going to turn our cups over. So I'm just going to grab the middle of both and kind of flip them over. So the right side of the bodice is where this border is facing you. You can tell the back. Just going to flip it over so that we're working on the inside of the garment. So I'm going to start by reattaching my yarn to this first stitch that I had marked off and to the corner stitch of the first cup. So I'm going to insert my hook into both of those, grab my new yarn, and just double knot to both stitches there. One and two, and then you can crochet over this tail as you go. So we're going to take our hook and reinsert into the same stitch on both, pull up a loop and chain one, and then from there we're just going to match the next stitch to the next stitch of the cup. So insert your hook into the next stitch of the bodice, and you can look on the back side if it's hard to see, but insert your hook into the next stitch of the cup, pull up a loop and single crochet, and then we'll just repeat. Insert into the next stitch of the bodice and insert into the next stitch of the cup, pull up a loop and single crochet. Okay, so we're almost done. I have 2 stitches left before I hit my middle stitch. I'm just going to take that out just so I know, just so I can see better. Okay, so once you just have your middle stitch of the bodice out and the middle stitch of your bralette out, we're going to insert our hook into the middle stitch of the bodice, the middle stitch of the next of the cup, and single crochet, and then reinsert your hook back into the middle stitch of the bodice and grab your second cup. So there'll be 2 stitches in the middle of the bodice and just 1 in the middle of the bra cups. And then insert your hook into the middle stitch of your second cup, pull up a loop and single crochet. So from there you'll just continue by matching 1 stitch to 1 stitch like we've been doing. We have 1 stitch left. And then once you have your whole piece crocheted on, chain 1 and fasten off. You can sew this if you prefer sewing. And that is what it looks like now. That's the back side, and that's the fronts. All right, so this is what your bralette looks like now once you have your sewing done. And from here we just have to do the border and the straps. So we're going to take a new strand of yarn and attach it to the front side. So make sure you're on the front side with your border. And we're just going to find this very most corner stitch here and reattach with a double knot. So from there we're going to insert our hook and pull up a loop and then chain out our back tie. So for extra small you can chain out 150, a small is 160, medium is 170, large is 190, 1X is 210, 2X is 220, and 3X can chain out 230 chains. All right, so once you have your chain finished, we're going to skip this first chain and slip stitch into the next chain, and then we'll just be putting one slip stitch in every chain until we reach the bodice again. Okay, so once you're done putting slip stitches in your chain, now we're going to start on the border. So we're going to work along this edge and work our way up to the top of the cup. And so this border is simple. It's going to be one single crochet in the next 5 stitches. So that's 2, 3, and you can crochet over this tail as you go. 4, and sometimes it's hard to work in the back of the foundation chain. Just do your best. So one single crochet in the next 5 stitches, chain 3, and picot. So we're going to slip stitch into that very first chain out of the 3. So slip stitch, and that's your picot. And then from there we just repeat. So one single crochet in the next 5 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then chain 3 picot. So chain 3 and slip stitch into the first chain of the 3. And so I'll meet you when we get to this corner. Okay, so now obviously I'm not going to be able to fit another picot, so just whenever you get in that situation, just single crochet until the corner. So once you get to the corner, we're just going to put kind of a single crochet kind of where the cup meets the bodice. So wherever you can fit your hook in, just put a single crochet in the corner. So now we're going to work up along the sides of the rows, and we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to be doing one single crochet in the next 5 in the side of the next 5 rows, and then picot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then picot. Chain 3 and slip stitch into the first chain of the 3. And you are headed towards the top of the cup. If your picot is too close to this top corner, don't worry about trying to force it to be there. It'll probably look better if there's not a picot so close to the top. So just finish with all single crochets until you get into this very first actual stitch. So we'll single crochet in that actual stitch. And you'll want to count how many single crochets you have before your last picot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that top one 7. Just so we know how to match it when we go down on the inside. So mine's had 7, so just make sure whatever you did, you know what it is. So now we're going to start on the top tie by chaining out our chain. So extra small can chain 90, the small is 100, medium is 110, large is 120, 1x is 130, 2x is 140, and 3x will chain out 150 chains. All right, so once you chain out your chain, we're going to do the same thing we did with the first tie. Skip that first chain and slip stitch into the second chain from your hook, and then just place 1 slip stitch in every chain all the way down until you reach the top of the cup. Okay, so once you reach the top of the cup, I have 1 chain left. We're going to mirror how we started or how we ended this side. So we have 1 single crochet in this top stitch here. So I'm going to put 1 in there. So I had 7 total, so that's 1. And then I'm going to just mirror what I did. So I have 7 at the top, so I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and picot. Like that. So that way it is in the same spot, and then we'll finish the rest with the 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then picot. So I have 3 stitches left. So what I'm going to do is kind of skip the first 3 stitches of the second cup, so 1, 2, 3, and go straight into that 4th stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to single crochet in this 4th stitch here, and you'll also want to count how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I had exactly 5 single crochets here, so you'll just want to mirror that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and picot. So whatever you did there, just mirror how many single crochets you have before you start your picot pattern, so that your picots are aligning with the cups. So go ahead and go up this cup. Make sure you know how many single crochets you did here. So once you reach the top, you should have the same amount of stitches that you had on that side, and then we'll go ahead and chain our chain, which was 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, or 150 depending on your size, and then we'll slip stitch back down that chain. Okay, so when you get here, you're just going to continue mirroring the other side. So make sure you count how many single crochets you have here to mirror it here. And also whatever you did in this corner, you'll want to mirror that. So go ahead and finish this side, just kind of like mirroring the first side. And then you'll chain out your back tie, which was 150, 160, 170, 190, 210, 220, or 230, and then slip stitch back along that chain, and I'll meet you there. And once you are done slip stitching your corner chain here, we're just going to slip stitch into this corner stitch, which is actually down here. So slip stitch into that corner stitch, chain 1, and fasten off. So now all you have to do is clean up any tails that you might have. And after all your tails are clean, you're pretty much done. The way that you weave in the back, you can just see these different holes here. I kind of picked one of the holes in the middle-ish and pulled it through from the other side, and then found a hole kind of like towards the bottom and put it through there. And just mirror what I did on the other side. So I think it was here. And through the bottom also. So that is the full bralette tutorial. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.